The following may contain offensive language, adult humor, and or content that some viewers may find offensive. The views and opinions expressed by any one speaker does not explicitly or necessarily reflect or represent those of Mark Radulich or W2M Network. Please listen with caution, or don't listen at all.
TV party tonight! What? TV party tonight!
Oh, we got nothing better to do than watch TV and have a couple of brews.
Don't want to talk about anything else.
We don't want to know.
We're dedicated here
To our favorite shows.
Oh, my circuits!
Everybody loves Hypno Toad.
Scary dog!
Dancing at Blurnsville.
Futurama!
I don't know what the one guy on the right is holding in his lap, and I just noticed that.
How many fingers does he have?
So I created the new artwork for the t-shirt store that I put up, which I'll advertise later. I have a TeePublic store now, and Alexis uses copyrighted characters in her logos and her jewelry and whatnot, and I figured, well, let me avoid being DMCA'd. I was DMCA'd twice, by the way, but not for anything Alexis did. I put up all of Benjamin Cologne's Long Road to Ruin art that I could find, and I put those on t-shirts, and two of them got DMCA'd. The Lord of the
really?
Rings one, yeah, the Lord of the Rings one, and another one, I don't remember which one. They were like, no, this is copyright. I'm like, it's all copyright. Like, why are those two special? But anyway, so I did.
Don't point them to that. Don't say that.
So
I come for your soul.
So I was like, okay, well, let me get ahead of this before all that happened. Let me get ahead of this and design a new TV. Something when I had asked Alexis to design the logos and whatnot, I had very specific things in mind, and you know, she did what she could with them. She interpreted it as best she could, and in some cases, she just kind of did whatever the hell she wanted. The TV party one was fine at the time. You know, it was the old color, you know, emergency broadcast thing with the, but it has copyrighted characters on it, and it has, you know, actual people. It has, you know, it has what's his face from The Witcher on there. You know, and a bunch of other characters. So I was like, okay, well, I don't want to put that up on TeePublic and get myself in trouble. So I'll just make a new one, and it'll be closer to what I really wanted in the first place, which is a bunch of guys like in the Black Flag TV party video watching a television that's broken. Jesse, I must have put that prompt into 106 different image generators.
Yeah.
And they kept putting the TV on the couch. And I'm just now realizing it was a literal interpretation of what it was I was saying. Watch the TV on the couch. The TV's on the couch that they're watching.
Gotta watch them prompts, brother.
I think I may have actually figured that out, and at one point wrote across from the television.
Yeah, you got to be detailed sometimes. You need to explain, hey, this TV, these guys are watching a TV that's on a TV stand across from the room.
Yeah. And the TV is broken.
It works really well, too well sometimes, because I made AI art for the stream I'm doing for characters, and I said, oh, I'll throw my NPC in there. And I said, handsome human male bard, and the dude is gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
and it made me feel about that big, because I was like, I don't look like that, and I do that guy's voice. So,
my favorite thing was when I said when I made the make the once again I'm in a threesome I didn't want to be in.
Oh yeah.
The amount of AI generated naked people with missing genitalia.
Oh really?
There was a lot of Barbie and Kens in that threesome.
Are you using Bing, or was it just anything you could
used
find?
a couple of different ones. I
was gonna say Bing would have probably censored that, I'm sure, but
yeah. So the one that I came up with was like, I had to then, it was so funny because I had to then tell the AI generator, no, I want them sad and frustrated. These threesomes are not to be enjoyed. These are to be regretted. Well, the shirt doesn't make any sense. Anyway.
So you found one, right? Because I think I saw that image.
Yeah. So I'm just so we have a new TV party tonight logo, and it's AI generated, and I'm pretty happy with it. I just, like I said, I just watched it again, and I'm realizing I didn't know what the guy has in his hands all the way on the right.
Well, you better take a good look at that again.
It's like a box or something. Hang on. Watch the intro again. Just watch.
All right.
And then we'll start the show. I promise. But watch that intro again and tell me what the fuck is going on in this picture.
TV party tonight! What? TV party tonight!
Oh, we got nothing better to do.
Did he put his hands in a fucking toaster?
Wait.
I don't understand.
He's got
please. Just
Okay.
TV party tonight! What? TV party tonight!
Oh, we got nothing better to do than watch TV.
I don't understand. It's like he's got his hand in an Xbox.
yeah, he's got his hands shoved in a broken PS5.
Oh, it's too funny.
I want to know what went wrong at this watch party.
Do not know. They all look the same too. It's like
They're all
three.
triplets. Why are they triplets?
You got triplets sitting there that are bored out of their mind. One,
Mhm.
trying to watch a TV that's broken. The other guy's like, "Well, watch me break this PS5. It's going to be pretty cool."
That was the other thing. When I was just like, I want a bunch of guys watching a broken television set, and like it would make just the happiest looking frat boys. And I'm like, no, I need them to be like plumb retarded. And that's what I came up with.
Nice.
Jesse, I generated my own song. Did you see that?
I did, as a matter of fact. It's,
Yeah,
I've
did
never heard
that.
of Shoom, by the way, which I immediately checked that out. So that's pretty neat.
Yeah, I looked for Suno and it directed me to Shoom when I went because I did that on my phone.
Well, were you looking at the App Store?
Yeah.
Okay, it was probably the first promoted. There's a Suno app. There's an actual Suno app that they just dropped like recently.
That's what I thought this was.
That is not it.
Okay. Well, either way, I would rather generate music about killing old people rather than talk to my parents.
I've been there.
Which brings us to why we're here tonight. Sons of Anarchy, season 6. That's our favorite show, Jesse.
Oh, yeah.
And it was brought to you by the good people at FX and a bunch of other production companies I don't really care about. The 6th and penultimate season of the American television drama season Sons of Anarchy premiered September 10th, 2013, and concluded on December 10th, 2013. After 13 episodes aired on the cable network FX, it was created by Kurt Sutter, who, Jesse, takes it right in the butt.
Oh, well,
do it in the butt.
I guess that does happen.
With that, we open the season with with him just. I've never seen him look less sexy. And I watched a lot of Oz.
You did watch a lot of Oz.
So anyway,
I watched exactly one episode of Oz,
and you noped out, huh?
And I went, not happening.
All right, so season 5, you and I talked about that a few weeks ago. It doesn't seem that long ago at all now. We talked about how Jax was basically playing chess when everyone else was playing checkers, and he doesn't want to be in guns anymore. He doesn't want to be under the cartel. He doesn't want to deal with the Irish. He doesn't want any part of this. And so he basically spent most of season 5. He ends up setting up Clay to go to jail for a murder he didn't actually commit. He starts making connections, and he's working his way of getting the motorcycle club into legitimate businesses. They introduced Jimmy Smits in season 5, who's hooked up with Katie Seagal's character Gemma. Also season 5, and because season 6 deals with a lot of this, is Tara being a dope. And you're not supposed to bring in contraband, and this is why. If an inmate manipulates you into bringing in something, even something as innocent as a cross, Ronnie, what's the rule?
You drop the soap in the shower.
What?
It's good to have you back there, friend. Jesse, what's the rule?
You don't bring contraband into a jail.
Not even a cross, because It just might be used to stab someone in the neck.
That's going to be turned into a shank.
Yeah. So at the end of the season, she goes to, it's okay. At the end of the season, she goes to jail. And she comes back with a nice butch haircut. Just the loveliest 80s butch haircut. And we are introduced to Donald Logue's character, who what's the name of his character?
Marshall Turek.
Turek, yeah.
Former Marshall, I believe.
Yes. Yeah. So, and he is just trying to bring this, he blames the club for getting his sister killed. So he wants revenge on them. And he's looking, and he is going the Vic Mackey route of bending the law to his will so they can set these people up. But beginning to halfway through the season, they introduce CCH Pounder's character. Because, my God, let's just get everybody from the Shield in there. I'm hoping Michael Chiklis turns up in season 7.
Oh, man.
Doing here, Michael Chiklis, a very brief cameo, and they punch the black guy. And runs away.
He just already cuts him, and he goes, "Hey," and then he goes away again.
They just flash to the barn, and Michael Chiklis looks up and he goes, "What? What do you want? I'll fucking kill you."
What?
We have Venus de Milo, Walter. Now, Jesse.
All right. Yeah, let's talk about lessons learned.
Okay. What do we call Walton Goggins' character, Venus de Milo?
Walter Goggins' character is a transgender character.
Venus Van Dam, not Venus de Milo.
Venus Van Dam, yes. Venus de
Very
Milo
good,
was the female Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
That is correct. So, Ronnie, when addressing Walton Goggins' character in the show Venus Van Dam is a... Please say drop the soap one more time.
Drop the soap in the shower. Please make that the rest of the answers for every question.
This is going to be about something way different.
Transgender. Okay, Ronnie, I made a boo-boo last week. I'm not going to repeat it. Let's just say
no. Wait. You go ahead and repeat it because I gotta grab something real quick.
I have to. Okay. I got your permission to repeat this.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, let's just say I used a.
tranny, didn't you?
No, I did not. I used one. I used one you probably haven't heard in quite a while. And let's just. I'm going to go ahead and say, again, I'm old. I think we're all old here. Okay, we're not used to the more recent terminology. It's tough for us to do that sometimes, and we are trying. At least I am. And I used the term she-male.
Oh.
And apparently,
so
I ran that by my daughter shortly after that happened. I said,
and she said,
"You wouldn't believe what your dad did tonight." She's like, "Dad, you're grounded." I'm like, "All right, I'll take it. I'm grounded."
Well, I never thought I'd hear the day that Jesse Starcher got canceled. Mark, yes. Did Jesse not?
It's amazing. I haven't been canceled, but Jesse did.
Jesse, one of the most innocent people on the planet.
Oh my god!
And Mark.
And Jesse's the one that
right.
Up.
Right.
Anywho.
Yeah.
So she, I believe is her pronouns, is back. Miss Venus Van Dam, played by the great Walton Goggins.
Oh, what a great character.
Yeah, we already talked about the CCH Pounder. They bring her in as the DA. We'll talk about why in just a moment. And this season deals with Tara trying to divorce herself, quite literally and figuratively, from Jax and the Greater Motorcycle Club. She will eventually get out of jail, and when she does, she figures, she says, well, I may end up going to prison, so I need to figure out what to do with my boys. And at this point, she has learned, and I don't know why it took her 6 seasons to learn this, but raising your children around a dangerous gun-selling motorcycle club is probably not the safest environment for toddlers.
I turned out okay.
So, a lot of the season, and then where the season ends, deals directly with her and Jack's relationship coming to a bitter end. A lot of the season is Gemma trying to kill Tara for trying to take the grandchildren away. And you and I talked about that also last season, about how Gemma's entire identity is wrapped up in 1, being an old lady, and 2, being a mom. If she does not have babies to care for, and she does not have a motorcycle club to look after, she is untethered and just kind of spins out. She gets high, she gets drunk, she makes bad decisions. She is nothing without, if I'm going to say it now and then I'm done with this word for the rest of the show. She is nothing without her family, both literal and figurative. And Tara stands in the way of all of that. So there's a lot of that with her. There's, I believe, Wendy, Jax's mother of his first kid. There's some stuff with her. There's a lot of pushing and pulling and tugging between Wendy and Gemma between Gemma and Tara of Wendy. Bobby spends most of the season trying to recruit like new members from other charters and trying to just beef up the Sons of Anarchy. And he is very much on the page of, can we get out of all the criminal activity and into some more, legitimate businesses? We have, hey, guess who's back, Jesse?
Tell me.
Our blonde friend from Treme. Kim something or other.
Oh my goodness.
Kim
I know who
Dickens.
you're talking about. Oh, yes. Okay. I know exactly who you're talking about now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep thinking it's the mom from Fear the Walking Dead, but I know, obviously she's from Treme.
Yeah, I was watching a Sons of Anarchy video on YouTube today, and somebody's like, we all know her from, and I went Treme, and the video goes Fear the Walking Dead. I'm like, I would not have known that.
No, you wouldn't have.
So she plays a madam. She's connected to Nero. She's running they're building a new high class brothel. So there's all that. So,
nope. Ronnie has a question.
Ronnie has a question. Yes,
Matt.
Dolly.
She's a smoke show in this. Sorry.
Okay.
It's Dolly, man. You gotta love her.
Oh, yeah.
Madam, meaning she owns the brothel.
She's running it.
Yeah.
She's the manager.
They don't call her a madam in the show ever.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Radulich term.
Oh, right. Yeah. Madam,
I mean, she is one. They may
not.
not refer to her as one, but she's
Right,
running
but
the brothel.
you use that terminology, so I have to ask.
Because of all of my various criminal affiliations and ne'er-do-well lifestyle living amongst whores. Yes, the proper terminology is madam, sir.
Madam.
You grab a hold of what I say. You stretch it like bubble gum.
And then I put my face through it like Freddy Krueger.
Exactly.
We're all afraid of. That's why we're all afraid of Mark.
At least I didn't get canceled.
Oh, damn.
And he's not talking to me. And I'm the crazy conservative of the group.
All right, Jesse. So let's get into this season. I was reading somewhere like this was a couple of people's not their the season finale is. You know what? Fuck it. I just want to start there. Let's just talk about the season
wow.
finale.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about.
I need you to calm down, sir. This is too much.
Let's talk. Well, there's two elements of, and it's not just the 2-hour season finale because we have to talk about what happens before that. But Jax is trying to get out of guns. He's trying to get away from the real IRA. And Clay from prison is making moves to go independent of the Sons of Anarchy Motorcycle Club and be a gun runner all his own. So the Irish and Clay are still working together, and it goes to an operation where they're going to try to get Clay out of prison when he's being transported, so that while he's on the out, so that he's going to go to Belfast and run the gun operation from there. But because I thought this was a little shoehorned in, this was a little contrived. I want to get your opinion on that. Because they couldn't get a crew together in Northern California in enough time to rob a convoy to get Clay out of prison and into a plane to Belfast. So they have to get Jax and the Sons of Anarchy Motorcycle Club to do it for them, which they don't want to do, but they use it to their advantage, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But just sticking with that one point, I thought it was a little contrived and weak of Kurt Sutter and his writing crew to force that, to come up with a reason so that it has to be Jax and everybody, so that then Jax can turn on him later. But what did you think of all that?
Didn't bother me any.
Okay.
I'll just. I mean, I wanted. I mean, what would we have? People would have been upset if they didn't have the opportunity to see Clay and Jax have that final interaction.
Mm-hmm. They could have gotten there in other ways, I guess. Is what I'm saying.
Okay. I mean, was it absolutely necessary? I don't know. I mean, we had to get what all happened in that takedown when Jax finally takes Clay out. The Irish end up getting killed as well. Yeah. Because we have Galen in there, we have his 2 whatever that are there, so that kind of puts a cap on the end. I don't know about
it's
cap.
Madams. Galen's Madams were there.
Just Madams.
Jesse also believe they like to be called Irish people.
I was gonna go with goons, but sure.
Oh boy. Last time, next thing I want to do is offend somebody else because I didn't use the right terminology.
Of Ireland.
But yeah, we had to get that, and it was a good way of kind of capping that storyline with both of them in there and also moving us forward a little bit. So, I mean, was it contrived? I feel like I didn't have any problem believing it. Me personally, I thought, well, okay, we need to get these guys there. And we want to see Jax and Clay. And I remember when Jax takes his mask off and Clay looks at him and he's just surprised at the fact that it's Jax breaking him out. Like that would be the last thing that he would do. But no, that's not the case. And then, we get what happens at the hangar or the production place, wherever they're at. So, I mean, it didn't bother me. I'll just put it that way.
What'd you think of the whole breaking Clay out? And then I want to go double back and talk about the actual finishing off of Clay, but just the whole force ticking clock that gets Jax involved in breaking Clay out. Ronnie,
I'm more on the Jesse side. It didn't bother me. I mean, I can see, and I saw your point when I first watched it. But it's not as bad as some television shows that we've seen in the past that absolutely force everything to happen.
It's just like no other people live on the planet.
Yeah, right. But
who were they going to go to, though? There was nobody else. The Irish obviously have problems with trust,
right? And I mean, like you look at who they associate with, and you're like, well, just like you said, there's a trust issue there, and then we just wouldn't have a television show if they didn't write it like that. No, but sometimes you write yourself into a wall, into a corner, I should say. And it comes out a little forced. But this could have been a lot worse. And I lean more towards Jesse. I was like, but I can see it at least. If it
I
was
feel like they also knew that the writing was on the wall too. Like, I mean, they probably knew they only had one more season to go. I don't think they could have pushed this much further, and they had to be like wrapping stuff up.
So to be clear, I'm fine with. I think a better way to have done it would be Jax finds out, like Galen's like, we have to move up the breaking up of the convoy. He is being transported now instead of later. I've got my best men on the job, and they get intercepted by Jax and everybody, and it becomes an oh shit moment for Clay, as opposed to, oh, you're here to rescue me? You're a little short for a stormtrooper, Charlie Hunnam, that sort of thing.
But you're pretty jacked.
Yeah. I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like I guess it's fine. I didn't love it. Okay. When we finally get to the hangar, and so Jesse, you sat through the Wire rewatches with me, and we did those podcast reviews, and Stringer's untimely demise at the hands of Brother Mozone and Omar, who's coming. Just want you to know that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Omar coming.
In the dough.
They just, Stringer's like, I will give you money, riches, bitches, men. What do you want? And Omar's like, I wanted you to not burn Brandon with cigarettes.
I want my father back, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, basically, I want my father back, you son of a bitch. And Stringer's just like, ugh, between the Muslim and the queer. Just get on with it, motherfuckers. And they light his ass up. He actually does say, "Get on with it, motherfucker." It's one of the great lines of The Wire. Just him, just going, "Okay, there's no way out of this. I'm going out, like a man." Just demands they shoot him, and so they do, like Daffy Duck.
Duck season.
Wabbit season. Clay kind of has his own. I mean, Clay's not quite the energetic figure Stringer Bell was, and also what Clay has been through this season. Somebody in one of the reviews I watched on YouTube was like, Ron Perlman has one of the funniest scenes all season when he's trying to get himself sent to the infirmary. And he's just like, the power of pussy compels you.
I mean, my goodness, it's such like a big difference from what you see him portraying throughout this whole series. And then all of a sudden he gets up and yeah, right. And he gets up and he does that whole, that whole act in front of the
I would
congregation.
love to just act it out for you right now.
Oh my gosh.
Just run around my room.
It was hilarious. And it's
so
so different too. It's like they're just like, dude, go for it. And he's like, okay, I will.
He was just like, how like Baptist churches, yeah, do that, but pussy every other word. You got it, boss.
Just lean right into it.
Ronnie, are you raising a finger because
I go to a Baptist church and we've never done that.
You don't go to a fun Baptist church. I don't know what to tell you. I have been to some fun Baptist churches.
Oh my gosh.
You've been to those primitive Baptist churches.
Okay. In any case, it's a pretty funny scene. And again, I'm making light of it, but Ron Perlman over the course of even just like the last two seasons, season 5 and 6, once he got shot by Opie, like he changed, even with getting the nomads to do his dirty work for him and everything else. Everything that led to him getting arrested is always just everyone around me is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say they kind of made him a sympathetic character for you?
No, because he's such a terrible bag of shit. I never wanted him to win. It's again, I guess I look for more energy and more dynamism in my characters. And sure. Ron Perlman plays Clay in season 5 and season 6 like he's perpetually gasping for air.
That's actually really good.
That's an actual line of dialogue. So when he's at the end, but again, Clay's not Stringer Bell, and so Jax has him dead to rights. He's like, okay, this is it. I've tried every which way to get at this guy. I've lost everything, and now I'm about to die. And I wrote you at the time. I was just like, I want him to just yell, "Get on with it, motherfucker!" But he just does it in his own Ron Perlman-y Clay way. He just kind of looks at him and goes, kind of balls up his fist and goes, "Do it,"
Yep.
And he didn't say do it. He just looks at him and goes, like with his face and his mannerisms, he's saying, "Just do it." And Jax is happy to oblige. And I think the one that broke my heart, the moment that, because you're asking, does it make Clay sympathetic? No, but the collateral damage gets sympathy from me. The person who I felt bad for was Bobby.
Okay.
When Bobby kind of chokes out the words, "This time it was unanimous." I was like, Bobby, just like, with Jax in the previous season, when he realizes Jax has sunk to a new low to set Clay up, he was like, this is about trying to save your soul, and you refuse to make the right decisions. Mm-hmm. Which reminds me, I have to talk about the TikTok I put up of him and Chibs, but we'll get there. So, when he was like, this time it was unanimous, like Bobby's like, there's no saving Clay. There was at this point, he has done so much damage. He is making things so much worse than they have to be. That what other choice do they have but to kill him? But that's his friend, and he loves him. So I feel bad for Bobby.
Sure.
Yeah.
So since I brought it up, I'll shift into the thing. This has got to be my favorite line of the entire series so far. And it's every time I see something in one of these TV watches, if I happen to have my phone and I remember to do it, I think, with Ted Lasso, it was Wear Me Wings, Roy. There was that bit. With Generation Kill, it was them doing Teenage Dirtbag and the Convoy. And here, and the reason why I love this line so much is because, like, they're talking very specifically about the stuff happening in the show, but it can be used in just everyday life. Chibs is like, you're making a lot of big decisions. He says this to Jax. You're making a lot of big decisions, and you're not bringing them to the table. That's not how this works. And he's trying to get Jax to, like, make this more democratic again, bring everybody back into it instead of just kind of, being the lone monarch. And Jax is like, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. Brother, none of this works. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you how I sympathize with Jax. Get off my case. Nothing works. I'm just trying to get by. I'm trying to not die today.
Right.
I absolutely just adore that line. That's why I recorded it and I put it up on TikTok.
Yeah, it's the truth too, that in this show, Jax is already at a position where when he becomes the head of the table, he's got to try and get them out of one of the things that they've been doing for so long, and that's running guns. Mm-hmm. And it seems like everything he's doing, it just, it's either blowing up in his face or he's got to be like, guys, calm down. We both want the same thing. Oh my gosh, they're shooting each other again. It's
how many meets ended up in gunfights?
Jack's just going, oh my gosh, what is going on?
Why am I in the middle of the Chinese and the Irish shooting each other? Why am I in the middle of the blacks and the Mexicans shooting each other? Why am I in the middle of the blacks and the Irish shooting each other?
And every time he's like, let's make this work so I can get the hell out of here. Right. Nah, it's not going to happen. So yeah, the whole nothing works thing.
Yeah, Jack's putting Siamese fighting fish in the same bowl and wonders why they fight.
Right. He just wants done, and he cannot, no matter what he does, no matter what he puts into place, nothing is working. And of course, Chib's being upset with the fact that, okay, look, yeah, you've made some decisions that are, what else can he do but just make these decisions? I understand that Chibs, I think, was really upset because, it wasn't brought to a vote. Like, some of the decisions were just not even brought to the table that he was making that affected the club pretty heavily. And yeah, so yeah, nothing is working. And it's the truth. I mean, most of what's going on here, he just cannot get something to succeed so he can move forward and get the club in a good spot. So anyway, yeah, it's a good, it's a good conversation.
How lucky was Trig, by the way? Trig ran over the black mob boss's daughter, was marked for death at least a dozen times, and by the end of season 6, they're like, he's paid off his debt, it's fine now.
Yeah, he's really lucky.
And then him looking at Jax going, are we good? Like, I suddenly feel like you're always trying to kill me. What's up with that? And Jack's like, no, you're fine. Like,
right.
That's all.
Yeah, I mean, Tig was, I think the way that I don't know if they ended the episode like that, but essentially Jack sent him to go to some warehouse and fully expected Tig to get killed by August Marks and his men, Pope's former men. He was expecting that to happen because that was the debt that he owed. He owed Marks that, and it was a test of loyalty. Because I remember when he showed back up, I was like, why is he so surprised?
Why is Opie dead and Tig still alive? Why?
Yeah,
don't get me started on that.
It is.
No, well, you've missed like 87, podcasts on the subject. So you want to go ahead?
I've missed 2, you son of a gun.
2 out of like 6. 5 actually, because we had the double one up. You want to quick speak on that, Ronnie?
I don't have anything other than like Opie is a much more interesting character.
Yeah.
And easier to, I don't want to say sympathize with or anything like that, because like you said, they're all trash bag human beings.
Yeah.
Because they run guns and drugs and everything else. But you do sympathize with Opie because he's trying to turn his life around and he can't, and he has to earn money for his family, so he gets back into the business. And then, they shoot his wife in the back of the head like 9 times. And then what was a MAC-10? Like, you know. And then, you know, he starts dating a prostitute and all this other stuff and whatever. So, like, but Tay's just, for lack of a better term, gross.
Yeah.
He's just gross. I mean, like, like he's one of the characters I didn't like to listen to talk.
Did he not redeem himself somewhat when he kills like the one pornographer, like drowns him in his own
Yeah,
piss, whatever it was?
Yeah, but still, in that moment, you're like, this man is a sociopath. He's a psychopath. You know,
Tig is the first character that you hate of the club, I think, in this series because of the way he killed Opie's wife. You're like, this guy needs to die. Like, you do not want this guy in there anymore. And
like, Opie has to kill him. Has to kill him. And then Opie gets killed.
Right.
Yep.
And you're like, what? There is no justice in the world.
It's aggravating.
You're watching, you know, a
show
about.
Tig has a giant 4-leaf clover stuck right up his ass.
Right.
Well, let's not go that far. I mean, he did have to watch his daughter get burned alive.
Who hasn't watched their child burn at some point?
Okay. All right. Yeah. Right.
We don't have children. Anything else about
make good decisions? I don't know.
About the Tig Opie thing. All right. So I've kind of briefly touched on it, but he was like, hey, let's just get right into the finale and then avoided talking about it altogether. Donald Logue's character. Oof. I was I at one point that he does something in a mirror buck naked, and I'm waiting for him to go like, would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. What the hell? Like, it was one thing to make him on a mission from God to avenge his sister. It was another thing to make him a fucking weirdo.
Oh, this was out of a Garth Ennis comic or something, man. I mean, it's just, it is really wild how this guy is like, you know, he's sitting there getting high, and then the moment that he gets, oh my goodness, Aaron, the escort, and you know, sees, you know where I'm going with this, because he's sitting there, like,
he's just like, I don't want to call her a prostitute, get yelled at again.
Oh, okay,
escort.
Escort. But that next morning, he's, you know, he hears somebody pull up, and it's CCH Pounder's character, the DA, and he's got a gun in his hand. He turns around and accidentally shoots that girl in the stomach and then proceeds to blow her brains out. All the while he's going, I'm sorry. Boom. I'm sorry. I'll make this matter. I'm sorry. And you're just like, this guy is unhinged.
Yeah.
Unhinged. And his character was around for like what? I don't know, 4 or 5 episodes.
We need another monster of the season. You know, something similar to Stahl, but worse. You know, like how could we take the Stahl character and make her, I don't know, also make them a lunatic?
Right, dude.
Make them completely unprofessional and unsympathetic in any way, shape, or form.
Oh man, it was bad.
I needed him to just like auto asphyxiate himself or something, like while while flipping through a consumer service magazine or some shit.
Looking at transmissions.
Like, what are the weird? Did they just have a bunch of weird shit on a dartboard and like this? Okay, we have our character.
There he is.
But weirdo.
He meets his end with Otto, which is great. Otto takes a shiv to his neck, and it's good. It's funny because his last words are like, "I didn't see that coming," and he's dead. And it's great. So his character, definitely oddball, straight out of nowhere, and causes a lot of problems, and then meets a really quick kind of end, in my opinion. But I'm kind of all right with that.
Yeah, I'm glad they did away with him mid-season.
And
granted, he has a couple of great scenes when he's trying to get information from the Bizlats, and he's just sticking beer bottles in their mouth and twisting them.
Oh, dude! And then he takes a drink like after he breaks their teeth off on it.
Yeah, and then he's just like, "Oh, what do you know? It's a twist off."
What a dude!
I just wonder. Like, again, we open the season with poor Otto, Kurt Sutter in a Vince McMahon moment. Have you ever heard the Dudley Boys talk about you can't say no to Vince McMahon when he's willing to do anything?
Yeah.
Like when Vince McMahon asks you to do something, you kind of have to say yes because the old man will do it. And like, well, you can't be worse than the old man. And so there's Kurt Sutter playing Otto, which I didn't realize until you had pointed it out to me. That number one, him and Katie Seagal are married, and two, he's the creator of the show, and he plays Otto. And we open, and what in our opening image is getting plowed in the ass by a black inmate, and he's just and Kurt Sutter played it so like Wile E. Coyote, like he's just got a sign up that says "Why me?"
Oh,
so by the time we
he
get
can't
to
talk
this,
anyway, he bit his tongue off.
Yeah, sure.
That's how he talks now. He's just signs.
Signs. The guy's fucking him in the ass. He's just, ouch. Why me?
This wasn't the Looney Tunes I was expecting.
Holding up a side just because it's like a cracked pot. This is corny.
Dude.
Anyway. I like how Ronnie disassociates in these podcasts.
Ronnie's a smart man. He's checking his emails.
Anyway, yeah. So Kurt Sutter, what a commitment to like the brutality in the show.
Agreed.
100%. Not the only ass fucking we saw in this season, by the way.
We need a counter. I had a death counter, I think, last time. I didn't have one of those though.
Yeah, dude, there was a point where I binged the entire thing on Saturday, and there's a point where I couldn't get Peter Griffin out of my head going, and they were having butt sex, butt sex.
Oh my gosh,
season long.
You know, we didn't talk about how this. I mean, aside from that, we did talk about how this season opened, but. You know, the first episode took me by surprise, and we are jumping all over the place, but that's okay. We have a school shooting.
Yeah, I meant to get to that. We
this is it was really odd, like to open it up like that. And I'm like, what is going to happen? And then of course it turns out that it's one of the guns that the Sons have ran, and sure enough, it was used in the shooting. But it felt all so out of place and like kind of weird to me. Anyway, go ahead.
It felt out of left field, but it was an inciting incident for the entire season. It's the thing that draws the Sage Pounder into it. It's a lot of it. It's a major factor in Jack's really wanting to get out of guns as soon as possible. And when and it's so funny because whenever he gets confronted about getting out of guns, he goes back to our guns killed the school. You don't understand. Our involvement in putting guns on the street is what led to that school shooting. Which is, can we? And I really want to get Ronnie in on this discussion because I think this will trigger him in some way, which is good. I like when Ronnie's triggered.
We got years of material for that.
What a pro gun control message that was. We have a character whose line is, even though I just sold the gun, I didn't shoot. We scared Ronnie.
And he left.
And he's gone. Even though I sold the gun, I didn't shoot the gun. I'm ultimately responsible for the deaths it caused, which runs against the NRA's argument of guns don't kill people, people kill people, and they do it with the guns, but you can't blame that on the gun sellers. And just as an aside, I shot some content with my father and my son on TikTok, and my father's reaction to the drum shooting was, yeah, I'm surprised he didn't have a heavier machine gun with a bump stock, considering those things are legal because of Republicans. Ooh. Why didn't he kill more people? He could have.
Bump stocks aren't legal anymore.
I take it up with my father. My point is,
I'd rather not.
Don't do that.
my point
I've never had to fist fight a 70-year-old man before.
I know where he hurts. You can absolutely win the fight. Kick him right in the hip. He will go down like a stack of cards. But anyway, I wrote a song about killing old people at the table for dinner. So anyway, that's the debate, and I'm not going to necessarily weigh in. I'm saying I'm doing the typical Mark thing. This is why I don't get views on TikTok, and my dad does. I'm saying there's two sides to this. There's the gun sellers are ultimately responsible for the deaths they cause by selling guns to people argument. Then there's the argument that a character in this show is touting. the motorcycle riding, criminal murdering jacks going, no. If you sell a gun, you're responsible for the damage it causes. Ronnie, what did you, as somebody who I'm sure has some pretty strong opinions about gun ownership and what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for here? Gun safety, gun laws, gun protection.
Gun control. Yeah.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the word control. Gun control. What's your thoughts, bud? I'm really tired tonight. So some of this is not coming easy to me.
I get it. So if I go to the hardware store and I buy a hammer,
you're responsible for everyone that dies by that hammer.
If I go around smacking people with it, yeah. And I take it and I build a house.
If you hit loud podcasters with it, yes.
And I take it and build a house with it.
Yeah.
Did the gentleman at the hardware store that sold, or gentlewoman at the hardware store, did they build that house? Are they responsible for that house?
They are not responsible for the ghosts inside the house that haunt people. No.
Okay, so what I'm saying is a person that sells guns, who does their due diligence, does the background checks and everything. If somebody snaps one day and takes that gun and kills somebody with it, the person that sold it is not responsible for how the other person uses it.
You realize it's not just guns that people make that argument with. Like, we're responsible for people's weight issues because we sell them.
They're responsible for their own weight issues.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm saying we just don't say this about guns because we tend to make this just a gun thing. But there's a contingent of people in this country that think we're responsible for the damage people cause themselves and others by giving them the materials to hurt themselves and others. If it's not fast food, then it's guns or it's drugs or it's this or it's that, porn, whatever it is you're selling. If it's hurting people, the seller is responsible. And so we should go back and live in caves ultimately. That seems to be the argument.
Right. And you could go back, well, what about drug dealers? They're not responsible. No, they're actually not responsible for that person's death if they OD. It's that person's choice to buy that drug and consume that drug in mass quantities. It's their choice, and I believe that. And like I'm in favor of I don't want to say stricter laws, but if somebody has felonies, they can't own a pistol or they can't own a firearm anyway. And I believe that if I believe in psych evaluations as well. As far as that.
I only laugh because we can't get people who need them psych evals. I don't know how fast we're getting people who want to buy a gun at Walmart a psych eval.
Good news about Walmart: they don't sell a whole lot of guns that do mass shootings. But sorry.
Sons of Walmart.
Walmart took down their machine guns.
Yes.
Oh, good.
All except for that one minigun they couldn't sell. They're trying to mark
the minigun. That's been marked down. It's on special.
They put that in the toy section. It's next to the Marvel toys that don't sell either.
But it's just like I can't take a hammer to a construction site and throw it in the middle and say, "Build my house." It has to be used. It has to be used.
Oh, okay. The hammer's not magic is your argument. Got it.
Right. And a gun isn't magic either. And there are tragedies that happen because of someone who uses a gun. Yes, absolutely. There are tragedies that happen because people don't lock their guns up properly. Right.
May I play devil's advocate here?
Sure.
Okay. And I want, for TikTok purposes, I'm not necessarily... Huh?
I wouldn't be here if you didn't.
For TikTok purposes, I'm not really talking about how I feel personally, but I do know both sides of the argument. And what I'm really, really good at, because I'm the Gemini, is I can do both sides of the argument. I can argue your point for you.
Yeah.
But to make this interesting, I'm going to argue against it. I think what a lot of people come down on is the kinds of guns that are available are unnecessary in the hands of civilians. So every argument there is for having a gun, home protection, hunting, sport. None of these require an automatic anything. And go ahead.
Sorry. The thing about an automatic is that I own an AR. It is semi-automatic.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to slap the parts in it to make it an automatic weapon, I would now own an illegal weapon.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have a certain tax stamp, and you are on a special list if you have an automatic weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So you are now owned by the government, in other words, which I am not a Republican per se. I am very much a libertarian. Do what you want, but just keep it off my yard. You have a God-given right to do what you want.
Here, though, that's exactly the point, is that these bullets are getting onto your yard whether you like it or not.
They're not getting on my yard.
Why
I have a brick wall. No,
I live in Rapunzel's high tower. How about that, fuckers?
I live in the country. But the thing about it is like 99. I don't know. I don't know stats. So I'm not going to quote any stats because they would be vastly wrong. But I would dare say that a lot of the shootings that happen like day to day that we hear about,
mm-hmm.
one, I know they are in states that are very strict on their on the gun laws.
Right.
New York, Illinois, places like that, Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
So that's a thing. And a lot of these guns are being illegally sold as well.
Sure.
So you just go up into a guy on an alley and say, "Hey, I need a heater, I need a gat," and they say, "All right."
You never say that again.
No,
you were to call it a gun and nothing else.
Okay, I need a gun.
Sorry, what I just heard was, "Hey, y'all, I need a gat." Like, no, Ronnie.
It wasn't that bad. Jeez. And I was trying to do a bad New York accent, apparently.
Oh my God, that's what that was?
Not really. I stopped.
Would you like me to do it?
No. Shut up, Mark.
Yes,
no. But a lot of these guns are being sold illegally as well. I mean, I went through hell and back for the first pistol I ever bought. It felt like. I applied for a pistol purchase permit that took weeks, and I paid for the permit. And then when I got the permit, I went to the sporting goods store where they had the pistol I wanted. And I was like, "Okay, is it still on sale?" And they're like, "Yeah." And then I get that, and they said, "Well, we need to do a background." I was like, "Well, I had a background, so I had a background check done at the sheriff's office." And said, "That's great. We need to do another one." I was like, "Do what you need to do, Hoss."
So,
and they did 2 background checks. One was by the sheriff's department.
mm-hmm.
And then it took, 2 hours just for me to purchase a pistol that was walked to the front of the store for me.
Right.
And then I walked out with it.
Oh,
and
did it bother you that they've kind of shoehorned an anti-gun, a pro-gun control message into the main character of the story?
Honestly, I'm used to it in media today.
Okay.
I'm legitimately used to it. And I'm surprised when there's not.
Okay. Now, Jesse, you own like a Batcave a Batcave arsenal, right? You own RPGs. You got a little cartel.
Oh no. Jesse is the Punisher.
That's right.
He doesn't just own RPGs.
Street level starch. So I'll ask you the same question. Did it bother you that did you even notice?
No,
being you?
No, and it's so funny because I was just about to say I didn't notice. I didn't notice. I just knew that Jack's running out of guns.
Right.
And this is a good reason also not to be involved with running guns, because shit comes back to your doorstep that you don't want it to come. You don't want to come to your doorstep. So, yeah, I mean, that didn't bother me at all. I did say though that the school shooting felt kind of out of place, but you're right.
Yeah.
It was a, I guess, I mean, if we're going to use a vehicle to get heat on the club, this is a good way to do it for sure. It's probably one of the
very
most
timely as well. 2013. By 2013, how many school shootings have there been?
Oh boy, I didn't even look to see.
1.21 gigawatts full. I mean, a lot.
I'm kind of worried about even looking because
here, let's ask ChatGPT.
Well, when it might have been 2016.
Picture would come out of that.
How many school shootings
in 2013?
No, up to 2000. In
No, I want to know what happened in
in the
2013
US.
because you said it was timely.
It came out in 2013, so let's say 2012. Okay, so how many shootings?
That's
how
fine.
many school shootings in the U.S. took place in 2012? In 2012, there were several notable school shootings in the U.S., but one of the most tragic and widely reported was Sandy Hook. Well, there you fucking go.
There fucking,
Yeah,
I knew exactly.
I was going to say Sandy Hook, but I just
yeah. So there it is. Like I'm sure that informed a lot of the writing of this season. In total, there were more than 30 school shootings reported in 2012, according to various sources and databases that track gun violence in educational settings.
Right. So I mean, you're right. It's timely, but I guess it is. Hey, we need to bring attention to, I guess, more attention to this horrible tragedy. I don't know, man. Now I kind of think it's kind of icky. I don't know. It's just I don't like them.
Thanks, Mark, for ruining the show for me. Thanks, Mark.
Well,
Mark, you ruined comics for me, so don't even talk about Flintstones, the Flintstones, Hong Kong Phooey. You just ruined it all.
But anyway,
what'd you say?
You ruin everything. You ruiner. My sister likes you.
What is that?
That's from The Simpsons.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I feel like I have to put a disclaimer out there.
Trigger warning.
I do lean more conservative. I am a conservative to a point. Like I said, I'm more of a libertarian. I'm not like frogs are gay, Alex Jones, or anything like that. I mean,
frogs are gay.
Yeah, that's what he said one time or something.
Frogs.
Like something was turning the frogs gay or something.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
If I had a nickel for every
not
time I
Frenchman. He's not talking about Frenchman. Oh shit, I'm gonna get canceled again.
He's. I think he's kind of a nutcase. But coming from my point of view, if I can't overlook something I disagree with in media, then I might as well just throw my TV, my computer, all my video games, and everything else out the window.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, I get it. I just, if I don't like it, I don't watch it, or if I disagree with it, it doesn't mean that I'm going to be like, set everything on fire and go into the streets in March.
So what you're saying is like this whole gun violence subplot, and Jax being Jax being the star of this show, being the one sort of saying like guns are bad, didn't bother you because at this point you're just sort of numb to it.
I looked at it and went, really? At least the rest of it was okay. Because it wasn't preachy. It was just a guy trying to get out of a horrible lifestyle because he's got a kid or several kids by this time. He might have a gaggle of them. We don't know. But, he was kind of
Pride
a man
of children. Pride, a gaggle, a flock.
A flock of children. But, it's just like, and I get that because everything he was doing, it wasn't the guns, it wasn't everything, but it was everything he was doing that included running guns was illegal. And that's why I was like, yeah, you need to get out of that lifestyle. And then they're like, I remember now, it was Sandy Hook and everything else. And it's just like, come on, man. It felt forced for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, you just it was just kind of icky. Like you're using a tragedy to make a point. And there's no sense in that.
I'm going to say this without revealing too much of how I really feel.
I just I bared my soul, Marcus.
I'm a gun control advocate. I think we need stricter gun laws. Is that going to whatever? Is that going to stop illegal guns from? No, it's weird because I'm kind of a hypocrite. I'm like pro drug legalization, like all of it. Some of it needs to be controlled by doctors, but for the most part, I think if. Listen, my son and I want to start a studio. By the way, Jesse, we're going to send you an 8-ball of Coke. Make a movie in $100,000. Make a movie using artificial intelligence.
Well, all right then.
So yeah, my son and I are starting 8-ball of Coke film. We're starting 8-ball of Coke films.
Okay,
so our movies are now going to be an 8-ball of Coke film from a Radulich and Broadcasting, a Pantsless production studio.
Very nice. Very nice.
Anyway, I'm so tired. I'm fucking up my own jokes. Anyway, my point being, like, I'm a big advocate of drug legalization and harm reduction and all of that, but by the same token, and for many of the libertarian reasons, you know, a lot of the reasons that you stated about guns, you can't projectile missile cocaine though. I mean, you can try. You'll just look like you were eating powdered donuts, but you know, like you're not arming a crossbow with fucking heroin needles, at least not yet.
Don't take one crossbow.
My point being, I think not everything is equal. You threw the hammer metaphor out there, and it's fine. I didn't argue with you about it. But building a house and firing an M16 are not the same thing. And I think they should be treated differently.
Metaphor.
No, and that's why I didn't argue with you about it. I knew the greater point you were saying, and I didn't want to get caught up in the minutia. But I think that's the point that I'm making, is that, you know, if you take a lot of the heavy duty issues that are out there, abortion, drugs, guns, I don't think you should paint them all with the same libertarian brush. Some of these need more controls than others. And I think where we're getting into arguments is what comes down to your personal belief. I personally believe in a harm reduction model and drug legalization. Jesse might be like, no, drugs are bad. Jesus told me so. However, the more guns, the merrier. And Ronnie's like, kill every baby. No, don't let any babies. Ronnie's so pro-abortion. He's just like, no baby should be born ever. I think that's what that. It just, just like, why do I come on here? My point is, some of this just comes down to personal opinion, and that's why I don't want to get involved in these arguments anymore.
Can I tell you something that might surprise you? I am
trans.
Oh,
you need to learn not to give him time to talk.
Right.
You need to roll right into it.
I've known the man close to I don't know how many years, and I should know this. Sometimes you just need to get your thoughts together, and then you can. Not all of them, and it's not like I don't advocate for the usage or anything like that, but I also don't judge. But I'm for the legalization of marijuana.
Okay.
Because I say, if people are going to do it, I mean, it's a waste of time to go out and arrest everybody who's got a dime bag of weed on them. Just legalize it and tax the crap out of it.
It's mostly there now. I mean, most states have a medical, at the very least, you're allowed, you know, they have the harm reduction medical model.
You know, I'm also in North Carolina and from West Virginia, where it's there. Don't worry about it. Trust me. But
I'm on a block, and this house has free abortions, and this house has free drugs, and this house has free guns, and I have to knock down two of them. I'm knocking down the abortion in the gun house. I'm keeping the drug house. That's my thing. I don't.
I'm using the guns to knock down the other two.
And Jesse's knocking down all three and putting up 3 comic shops.
Right. But the thing about it is like, when I look at your argument for legalization of all drugs, from in 2022, there were 48,204 deaths with a death rate of 14.5 per 100,000 people that involved guns. Now that's a lot. I mean, I understand that's a lot. We're not counting on how many of those were illegal guns, and they're not counting on how many of those were accidents.
And I keep desperately trying to wind this back to Sons of Anarchy, and I have to make this point. We are talking about illegally sold and bought guns.
Illegally sold, bought, and
the kid shot up the school with an illegal gun. It wasn't like Jax is running a Walmart. Like, oh no, we sold him a rocket launcher. You know, and who knew?
In 2022, the same year, drug overdose deaths were 81,806 deaths involving any opioid, including 5,871 deaths involving heroin.
You know, if Jesse runs into the street right now and he's trying to either get an abortion, a gun, or a drug, you know which one's going to be the easiest one for him to get?
Drugs.
Yeah. So statistics are a funny thing, because what you just read were very large numbers. And it's meant, and I know this wasn't your necessarily intent, but when people read off like, oh my God, so many people die of drugs, you do realize that statistics are, ratios are a thing. When there's more of something, and more people have access to it, you're going to have more of it affecting people.
Exactly. but there are also more guns in the United States than what you think. There are
There's
enough
not
guns
more
for
guns
every
than there
man,
are
woman, and
drugs.
child to own 2.5, 3.5 guns.
All right. We've utterly lost Jesse, who is currently playing Marvel Snap with Evan Bevan.
I'm up 3-1.
What? You really are playing?
No, I'm not playing.
I would applaud you at this point. But the thing about it is like we said, they do not account for the guns that are bought and sold that are illegal, just like in this show. And the kid that shot up the school in the show had an illegal gun, and that's what hit Jax the hardest.
Right.
There was a lot of, that's the main thing that you get out of this is, I mean, how do you not feel guilty?
Yeah,
because you know that
well, it had been Clay, they'd have been like, I wish he'd shot more kids, we'd have sold more guns. Clay, well, that's Clay would have been at the school. Clay would have been at the school the next day selling guns to teachers. Like, because there's that argument too. We should arm teachers, that'll stop the school shootings. And Clay would have been like right there, like, any teachers want to buy a gun?
Right. And the next meeting where Jax is like telling Galen, hey, I want out of this. And Galen's like, I'm bringing all the KG9s in the world here because it's going to be a hot gun now that this has happened. Like, people are going to know that this is the thing and people are going to want it.
This is a lot about America and our marketing. Like, I use this gun to shoot up an entire school. That's an amazing gun. I need me one of them.
Exactly. And it's because that's how twisted Galen's mind. And of course, he's done the research. I'm sure it's probably legit.
He's done the market research.
He probably knows.
We are tracking massacres and popularity of guns. We have a graph.
Could you imagine if AI got involved and like he would be, he'd corner the market. He would
be at the board meeting.
Well, it seems the 6 hours.
I want to be at the meeting. I want to be at the meeting where they're pitching like guns based on local massacres.
No,
seems like the 6 hours is really taking off in the Northwest, but the block is still really doing well in the South.
That's crazy.
The last thing, and then I'm moving this on. So I've shot on so I don't come off like a liberal panty waist. I have actually shot machine guns. I've shot automatic weapons at a range. Like, it wasn't like I was in my backyard. No, I went
you're pulling the what's his name? Gosh, I can't remember the name of the movie. It was Miles Teller and where he just pulls the War Dogs. Yeah. Where he just pulls the automatic weapon and just shoots it in the middle of the street. It's like, what? Come on, I thought we were gonna hang out. That was you.
Yeah. No. For my friend Paul, an old friend of mine, so sometimes you lose your friends in the divorce. I lost Paul to Melissa. But before all that, for one of Paul's birthdays, we decided to spend his birthday shooting automatic weapons at a range. So like we rented Uzis and like machine guns, whatever automatic weapons there were legally to rent from this range, we got to shoot. So a couple of things about that. One, you get out of bullets. If that's an expensive hobby, you run out of bullets very quickly. Like when they're saying like automatic weapons, like remember in Generation Kill, where I think you and I and Andrew actually talked about this because I brought up the same point then. Like when you press your trigger on an automatic weapon, a lot of bullets come out. You really can't press the whole thing down and just wait. Mm-hmm. You will go through your magazine very quickly. Mm-hmm. That's what I learned. That's my gun. That's my gun talk for the day.
Oh, okay.
All right. So the whole season, Tara's like trying to set up guardianship for the kids, and she's trying to make nice with Wendy, and she's getting Wendy to feed Gemma horse shit to keep her off her tail. I'll tell you, one of the most heartbreaking watching Tara get shot or stabbed to death and killed by Gemma did not bother me. Hearing Unsler say, "I can't help you no more. You broke my heart," like, which was implied. He did not say you broke my heart, but but basically, she fakes a pregnancy, then fakes losing the baby,
right? In a horrible fashion.
Let me tell you, I could get a restraining order on Ronnie right now. Okay, you don't need to fake a pregnancy and an abortion. Jesus Christ Almighty. That like Kurt Sutter way soapy drama that up.
Oh man.
But yeah, she fucking fakes a pregnancy, then fakes Gemma kicking her in the stomach, then losing the baby. all of this to drive a wedge between Jax and Gemma, which was not difficult, but also to get the restraining order on Gemma. And the idea is if I go to prison, then Wendy is the guardian of these kids, and she's to take them and get the fuck out of Charming. It does not work out that way at all. Eventually, Jax finds out the truth, and he ends up confronting Tara. And I kind of like I watched this late at night. Like I said, I binged it in one day. So by the time I got to the season finale, I was dog-ass tired. I think I started at like 11, and I didn't realize it was a 2-hour finale. So some of the details I missed here. But I guess they think she's made a deal with CCH Pounder. It turns out Jax made the deal, and they kind of reconcile in the park. They have this whole long heart-to-heart. And then Tara goes home to get the kids, and Gemma intercepts her, and she ends up killing her. And then the sheriff finds Gemma, and then Juice walks up behind the sheriff and puts 2 in the back of his head. Gosh. And then later on, Jax finds Tara dead on the ground, and that's where we leave the season.
Right.
Like I said, her doing what she did with the fake pregnancy, and Unsler feeling like he's been used and manipulated by another pretty girl, and he's like kind of the Bobby Jax thing of, I have tried, and I have tried with you, and you keep making bad decisions. I'm done trying. I'm just like, if you're going, I was willing to try to help you when you were at least attempting to walk the straight and narrow. You've become as bad as everyone around here. I can't bring myself to help you anymore. And that really upset me. That broke my heart. It was like, I feel bad for Wayne.
Oh man, my wife a couple times throughout the the season was like, I feel so bad for Unser because of what he is one of the characters that he obviously has this relationship with the club. He loves Gemma. I mean, he actually comes out and says that to her during.
How many of us have been Wayne, by the way, where you're an ugly gnome and you love a pretty girl, and pretty girl's always going with the bad boys and jocks and and all of that, and you're just like, I love you, and she's just like, thanks. Raise your hand if you've been there.
I am the epitome of Unser in that.
Yeah, we've all been Unsler time. Maybe not Jesse, because he's been married since he was 12. But the rest of us mortals have at one time or another been an Unsler.
Yeah, and a lot of what his relationship with Tara is that he's obviously more of a father figure, and what he says to her, I think what you were kind of alluding to there is like, it was something along the lines of like, it breaks my heart to see what you're trying to do to get right, but doing everything's doing it so wrong. Because he knows that what she's doing, there's moments where he talks to her, and I was wondering, like, should she confide in him, because he was like, what are you trying to do here? And she danced around it, like, I really don't know if I should tell you, because she knows he's close with Gemma, but he wants to help, and he would help. And at one point he looks at her, he's like, you are juggling a lot of plates here. What are you doing? And we were talking about the chess versus checkers thing. Many of these episodes is leaving everybody kind of like, okay, what is Tara doing? She's doing something. Wendy's involved. What is the deal? And then when it all comes to a head, when she gets the restraining order, Gemma shows up at the hospital, and the administrator's there along with Tara, and says that, yeah, I watched her attack her, and Gemma throws herself, when it's just Gemma and it's Tara. Tara throws herself onto the table, the corner of the table, after she had drew some blood, just to have blood come out and make it look like she had a miscarriage when she was never pregnant in the first place.
Right.
It's like, what are you trying to do? Well, she's trying to get away from this club, and she's absolutely lost and doesn't understand what to do. And she feels that this is the only thing that she can do in order to get away.
Going to jail broke that woman in character, like, because when she was giving out of the contraband and she was like doing all that stuff, I think she still had it together, and I think she still had like a moral compass. Then she went to jail and double axe handled the girl, and it just went into this whole thing. And I think she came out just a broken individual. Somebody whose moral compass was now destroyed and was basically going the ends justify the means. which was why Unsler then looks at him and goes, no. You've become the very thing you're trying to run away from, and I don't want to be a part of this.
Yeah. Also, you talked about the meeting they had at the park, and everything's finally laid out there on the table. Jax is sitting down with her, and you're just waiting for him to be like, you're not taking my boys, but he doesn't do that. He says, you take them and go wherever you need to go. Just get them away from this. And so you just breathe this sigh of relief. Like, thank goodness Jax is not the monster that he has there's been allusions to here throughout the season. He's turning into clay, blah, blah. Go ahead.
Well, I wanted you've watched The Shield. Ronnie, you've watched The Shield, right?
I have not watched The Shield, by the way. I know the characters. I've never watched The Shield.
You're gonna make me sit down and make you watch The Shield. I have the Mark and Jesse TV party.
Put it down for 2028.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I'm gonna need to.
Bro.
I think we're into 2026 now with these. I got bored at work, but at some point I didn't realize you hadn't seen it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to throw that back on the list. Okay. I didn't necessarily want to watch something I'd already seen yet again, but I gotta get you to watch Shield. By the end of The Shield, you're not rooting for Mackie anymore. Like, I think one of the big failings of The Shield was he was such a terrible person by the end that it was hard for him to root. Like, not to give away the ending, but the Shield ends tragically. It's also a little vague what happens, but basically nobody gets out of the Shield better than they started. Mm-hmm. Nobody. Everybody ends. Ronnie, back me up on this. Everybody in the Shield ends worse than where they started in that show.
Oh, they're terrible. Yeah.
Everybody's in hell, and at the end, Mackie again has done such terrible things. And he's such a bad person that you as a television viewer are like, if there's any justice in this show, he should be dead, or at the very least go to prison. And again, at the end of the day, he's in his own special kind of Mackie hell, which is fine. But it's like I said, it's tragic. It's sad. It's frustrating. Here, I think, I don't know, maybe Kurt Sutter learned the lessons of The Shield, and it was like, we can't make Jax a complete piece of shit. Why would anyone root for him?
Right.
And if protecting Tara at the end of the day above all else is what gives him is how he retains his soul, so that the audience is still with him and sees him as a person and not a monster, then that's what we need to do. And then, like all good tragedies, they take her away from him.
Oh, jeez. What a violent display. I mean, Gemma is.
What's even better than that is Gemma going, it had to be done. It was like, it was like fucking, Robert, Ronnie's best friend. Robert has said on a couple of occasions that he's called it Hamlet on motorbikes. But, it's I believe it's Macbeth that does the out damn spot out, right?
You're asking the wrong dude.
Would you not go to school? You've not read any.
Was it in a comic? Did they adapt it into a comic at one point? Because if so, I'll cover it at some point. I swear.
Oh, fuck off!
Don't go.
Ronnie, your thoughts here while I chat GPT this.
There's like a 50% chance he's actually looking to see if Hamlet was made into a comic, so we could cover it.
25%, but yeah, sure.
We're sitting here talking about everything, and I forgot what you asked. What do you want my opinion on?
React to what's been said, sir. Please pay attention in class.
I'll tell you this. Tara gets killed by Gemma. Do you remember that?
Me?
Yes.
Oh my God! Pat.
Look your stuff up, Mark.
I found it. I'm about to cut you off again and start reading it unless you speak.
Tara gets killed by Gemma in a violent way, one of the most violent ways possible, with a oh my goodness, it looks like a chicken fork. That's the only thing I can think of. That's a chicken fork. It's like a two prongs.
Taco Bell spork.
And she's like putting her head in the water and stabbing her at the same time in the back of the neck, all because she thinks she is going to run off and she's done a deal with the cops. I mean, that had to have struck a chord, Ronnie, right?
I just remember being really disturbed by it.
Yeah, it was disturbing. It was.
It was like one of the more violent deaths in the show. Period.
Yeah,
I
we're
mean,
so used to
like,
everyone just being gunned down to death.
I'm American. I'm used to it.
So real quick, out
Sorry,
them
that
spot.
was poor taste. I apologize.
Just moving on. The light out them spot out, I say, is from William Shakespeare's play Macbeth. It is spoken by Lady Macbeth in Act 5, Scene 1, during a famous scene known as the sleepwalking scene. In this scene, Lady Macbeth, also known as the Punisher, who has been tormented by guilt over the murders committed in a park by the Italian mob. No, by this is funny only to Jesse. Guilt over the murder.
Pissed. It's from Macbeth, Mark. Hold on, let me look it up.
Seen by her husband's throne, is seen sleepwalking and trying to wash the imagined bloodstains from her hands. The line reflects her overwhelming sense of guilt in her attempt to cleanse herself of her culpability. That's why I was equating it to Gemma at the end. Because Gemma, it's that kind of intensity where she's just so convinced. She's almost like disassociated from reality by that point. She's like, it had to be done. It had to be done. I had to keep my family together. I had to protect my babies. It's like none of that was true. Absolutely none of it. Your own imagination and paranoia went wild. So
yeah.
All right. Anything else about season 6?
No, I'm kidding.
Okay, you want to explain that?
Ronnie hated it. 2 thumbs down and a fart noise.
No, I mean, it was good. I mean, it was. Yeah, I mean, like I was just being stupid when I did the thumbs down,
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of the more interesting seasons. A little heavy-handed towards the end with the preaching, but it with everything that we've said, we've pretty much put our hearts on our sleeves about it.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. There were parts of it that we, like Mark didn't like, and Jess and I can overlook. The end. But it was just like they know where they're going with their story. It felt like,
yeah,
for the most part. And I'm still imagining the chicken fork.
Chicken fork right to the back of the head.
It was like there were some spots in it that you're just like, was that really, really necessary? Like the drowning in the chicken fork.
Oh my goodness. We had, and then there was with Walton Goggins, that whole episode, it was almost like one of those kind of throwaway episodes where
Jesse, when Venus Van Damme's mom is doing the whole effing show, it's doing that whole speech, and they kept and she's talking about Walton Goggins' character.
Oh yeah, I know exactly where you're going here.
But they kept panning to Jax.
Yep. And
Jax is like, this is a little too close to home. Did you not have that season 5 moment of The Wire where the FBI is reading the profile and Nick Nolte's like, God damn it, that's me.
Yeah, right.
The Wire, take a drink.
Your third. And what a powerful moment there too, because they're all going to let this, this horrible mother or this child porn ringleader, I guess you would say. I mean, I know that she's involved with it. I don't know if she's the ringleader, but either way, she's a really despicable person. And as she's doing that speech, Jax just takes the gun and he's like, boom, and it blows her brains out, which is good. But that whole speech that she gives, everything Jax starts to realize, that's all that is me. I am the monster that my kids are going to grow up hating me because of this. But anyway, that episode, it was kind of like a throwaway episode. It was a good spot of the season. I think I enjoyed the episode to kind of, take us away from all the big dealings going on with Charming and the rest of things. But as far as the season goes, overall, I had a good time. I think, you got to look at the impact of this season. They are gearing up for season 7. I will tell you that I didn't expect Clay to die.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was expecting like Clay to go to Belfast, and then at season 7 was going to be Jax and Clay butting heads in some way. And like Clay just be like, okay, I've got to take this guy out or something. And then finally we get the final showdown in season 7. That doesn't happen. Of course, I didn't look at any of the production notes. It might have been on the wall when like, hey, this might be the end of season. This might be the end. Could you imagine if they would have left it though with Tara getting killed by Gemma? There's no way. So they knew season 7 had to happen. But either way, Clay getting offed, we lose the sheriff. We lose Tara. So it's Jax is going to jail. And at first I was like, they're going to pin him for the murder of Tara. I was like, this is not going to be good, because they almost could say that, he did it in a fit of rage because he found out. But, it left things.
They have probable cause.
Right. I mean, he's there. Sheriff's dead on the floor, and he's cradling his dead wife in his arms, wailing. And it was so emotional. These two had gone through so much throughout this season 6, at odds with each other. Jax just being like, talk to me, tell me, I want to know. But he was trying to give her some space too, because he knew there was she had, every time he said, I love you, me too. And then that final episode, they finally lay things out there on the table. He says, I love you. And she says, I love you too. And then she dies. She gets killed by his mom, which we were waiting for since probably season 1. I mean, everybody thought that Gemma was going to kill Tara at some point, and I didn't realize it was going to be this brutal. She was drunk. We should put it on the table here that she was absolutely drunk. She had also lost Nero. Nero had kind of broken up with her. So she was clearly emotionally distraught, and Unser is like, you should not drive. Let me drive you. She grabs his keys, takes off, and it's just tragic. It really is, because now how's Gemma going to handle this with Jax? She's not going to tell him.
Season 7's got to be the Jax Gemma war, right?
Oh boy, let's just say I'm on episode 2.
There are mechs involved.
Mechs
involved.
Somehow we get to what was the name of the movie with that Charlie Hunnam starred in with the big
Pacific Rim.
Somehow we get to Pacific Rim from this. You had no idea that Pacific Rim was a Sons of Anarchy.
Jim is one of the kaiju.
It's weird to watch the mechs have butt sex with the kaiju.
Oh, well, it happens.
Ha ha ha.
Bet you didn't see that weapon come out. Come on. What is it in Pacific Rim? We have to phase, or we have to mind meld, whatever the fuck word they use.
Yeah, I'm not something like that. I couldn't remember the name of the movie, so asking me to remember details is a little bit different.
Come on, we have to go at the same time. Use your hips. Glad you guys came on the show tonight. All right, do you have a slideshow, Jesse, or no?
I do. I mean, we can go through it real quick. What are we at? 1 hour 28. So if 10 minutes.
Yeah,
we'll go through it real quick. And really, Ronnie, I don't know if we did this on the last episode that you were on, but I go through TV time. And I will, with TV time, it allows you to kind of keep track, kind of like Letterboxd if you have that with movies. Yeah. TV time does the same thing. So it'll let you kind of log your TV shows. So I'm going to share my screen here real quick. Share screen. And shut up. Entire screen.
So tired of you. Quiet.
All right.
All right. Hit it, Jess.
There you go. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go through the top comments of each episode. People will usually take screenshots of the episode here, and we'll go from that. So you ready? You ready, Ronnie?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here we go. So this was from episode 1, season 6, episode 1. Alyssa here says that she's so happy and proud of Chibs being vice president. Chibs, loyal guy, one of the guys that speaks words of wisdom throughout this season, and probably one of the better members of this motorcycle club. So good on Chibs there. Season 2, or no, let's try it again. Season 6, episode 2. Every time someone says, I got this, I have a terribly bad feeling.
Yeah, you don't got nothing. You're about to die.
Right. And then below that, we have Jax as the new Clay, which, yeah, unfortunately, that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 3. Oh, boy. What a twist. What a twist.
What a twist.
When Wendy wipes the bruise from her neck, that was just makeup. Mm-hmm.
Goddamn lying bitches.
I think I split this one up because this episode 3 comment, everyone is lying. So Wendy's doing that. Chibs goes to the warehouse expecting to possibly get killed. Well, he's expecting a shipment to show up, but then, Marx's men show up and he's expecting to die. Tara's lying to Jax. Jax is sleeping with the mom from Fear the Walking Dead.
Or Treme. I'm just saying.
Or Treme. Yeah, that kind of ties in a little bit better. Here we have Marshall Torek, and Miloff says, "Thank you, Otto. Great job." So this is obviously the episode in which Otto gets his revenge and gets killed too, by the way. Otto does not make it out of there alive. And yeah, Chibs talking some sense into Jax in episode 5. This is kind of where you were talking about, where Chibs is like, this isn't working. Jax is like, none of it works. The episode 6, where the guys almost get caught up in a scam to get their bike stolen from some cops. And then they find out that, it's definitely a scam. So they show up at the chop shop, or what is apparently the impound, where these guys are getting all these bikes from, and they make the cops. They say, "We took pictures of all of this, and you need to tell us sorry for my behavior today." So they have to go down the line of the motorcycle club, and the cops have to apologize because they're not on the up and up, by the way. Good moment. Rat Boy.
Yeah.
Rat Boy gets his cut.
Oh my God. Fucking Shrek got killed.
That's right. And hands
sadder about
off.
that than Tara.
Oh, he did too. He got killed. Hands off. He got his freaking hands cut off. Along with whoever else was with him, some other guy, Villain or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, episode 8. Poor Wendy, back to zero. Yep. She's got the needle in her arm, and now she has to start back up just because of all this stress that Tara and Gemma are putting her under.
That was a fucked up moment. Like, a lot of the stuff with Gemma, I'm like, okay, well, everyone here's a monster, so this doesn't bother me that much. But when she was like, take this, and then also, can you get rid of the drugs for me? And she's like, you're gonna have to get rid of that one yourself. It's like, come on, man. Like, what did that serve other than you're just evil?
Right. The picture below that, it was kind of a interesting moment where Juice is just standing out in front of a car that's coming right at him, like just not even moving, expecting to get hit. I mean, like he wants to get hit. Juice is going through some stuff, and by the end of this season, clearly I think it's that last episode where Jax grabs Juice and says, "You've betrayed me." And Jax is like, "Oh, fuck." And he has to get out of there. He doesn't go back to the club after that. This is interesting. We didn't really talk about this. This is always like peppered through. So I'm sure I really hope this comes to.
Oh, the homeless girl.
Yeah. Because we see the homeless girl throughout this whole series. I'm pretty sure this is the same one we saw at the graveyard in season 1. And so we find out that this couple here, this is a picture that was on the on this guy's we'll just say his mantle, and it turns out that Jax's father, the accident that I think killed Jax's father, I'd have to listen to
right. Yeah, so the truck jackknifes, it kills JT, but also it ended up killing other people as well.
Supposedly kills the mom here.
Right.
And what we end up finding out is, how we find out about this is there's this young girl that's hanging outside of the ice cream shop that they now have, but their clubhouse, by the way, got blown up. So now they have to reside in an ice cream shop. But there's this girl sitting out the side of the ice cream shop that's figured out this is where the motorcycle club is. And she takes like a metal pipe to Tig's bike and then throws the metal pipe through the window of the ice cream shop. And then we find out that, her mom was in this accident, supposedly, that got killed. She blames the motorcycle club, and Jax handles it as best as he can. She ends up coming to work at the ice cream shop.
Yep.
So, but yes, this homeless girl, is that her mom? Is
By
that
the way,
where
Chucky has never looked happier.
Oh, Chucky.
When he's running the ice cream parlor.
I love Chucky. And poor Nero. By the way, Nero's still my absolute favorite character.
Oh my God, him and Unsler in the car.
Yeah.
That was great.
Where he's like, hey, I'm just trying to have clearly the cancer's taken away the part of you that can make a conversation.
I can make conversation. I just don't like you, asshole.
Yeah.
He's
it's
like
good.
the hot Latin guy who's currently begging the love of Unsler's life. We've all been Unsler. It's all right.
Oh, man. Love Nero. Love Nero. No Fabella says, I don't like Jax anymore. And here's, I assume this is from that show, Big Bang Theory, or no, wait a second. How I Met Your Mother.
That's How I Met Your Mother.
Okay. Where it says, you're a jerk. So we're getting into episode 10, three more episodes to go. Episode 11, the end of Clay. So there you go. The comment was, great character, great actor. Ron Perlman is amazing. I'll agree. I mean, he was a shitbag most of the season, and he played it very well. Episode 12, Jax promised Tara multiple times they will leave. He said he didn't want that life for his kids. Tara is doing what any mother should do, but I still miss the happy times. We all do, and there won't be any more.
Just imagine that had Tara not brought contraband into the prison hospital, where we would be in this show. Because here's why Tara's a bitch, and I don't care that she's dead.
Oh goodness.
Okay. Here's why Tara's a bitch.
All right.
Okay. Jax did everything he said he was going to do. Jax didn't lie to her. Jax said, I can't let the club just implode. I have to get it in a place where it can be self-sustainable and I can walk away from it. Give me that time. And she said, I'm not going anywhere. I will stand by you. And what has Jax done for 2 fucking seasons? He tried to bring in, he tried to set up the cartel with the Chinese. This took time. He tried to set up the one-niners with the Chinese. He tried to get away from the real IRA. He was setting up legitimate, semi-legitimate businesses like a high-end brothel. He's trying to do things, do deals. He is trying to make it so that the club has new members, has a steady stream of income, so that he can wash his hands of it and walk away. And this moron, this tart, gives a known violent felon a cross. You're not supposed to do that. She sat through the training, Jesse. We talked about this last season. The manipulation training. You're not supposed to bring in anything for an inmate, no matter how innocuous it is. And yet she did, and it's not her. Jax didn't tell her to do that. Jax said, go there and talk with Otto, but he didn't tell her fucking form a relationship with this guy and sneak him contraband. No. This tart did that all on her own.
Oh, my goodness.
And she got duly punished for it.
Yeah.
Now
she's trying.
Now she's mad at... No. Damn it. Now she's mad at Jax for not fulfilling his promise, except that he was. And she's like, oh, no. The dangerous motorcycle gang is too dangerous for my children. I can't leave them here.
The fact that her
Jax has done everything he said he was going to do. She's the one that fucked up, and she's taking it out on him. Fucking typical woman.
I think you have to learn where to draw a line, and when you're
no,
don't do that.
No.
When you are trying to rely on your husband to keep you safe, and he can't.
I'm sorry. What danger did Jax put her in the last 2 seasons?
Oh, in the last 2 seasons, what happened to their clubhouse where all the kids were staying? And she was staying
it only got a little blowed up.
Yeah, it got exploded to where they were they had to rebuild, and I love their marketing, by the way. Our prices are the bomb. The signs on the side of the building. But no, I mean, she has to, as much as she loves Jax, man, you've got to understand.
God forbid she be fucking you know, what's the word I'm looking for?
Loyal?
That's the one.
Is it? Okay.
God forbid she be loyal to the guy.
Wasn't.
Yeah. And what was the one thing that actually kind of broke her? When she went in, she saw that Jax was sleeping with the madam. Oh, yeah, that too.
Oh, I'm not putting that on fucking Jax.
You're not going to put that on Jax?
She's colder than the
just
other
talked
side
about
of the...
and he's not. He's
Fuck
not
that. Dude,
right.
The whole episode, this simp is like, what do I have to do to come back to you? What do I have to do to make things whole? What do I have to do to make you love me again? And she's like, be another person. Okay, and then she proceeded to turn into ice. And so, yes, he sought the warmth of another woman because this frigid bitch wouldn't do nothing for him. I'm on Jackson's side here.
Fuck Tara. Really? Really? You sure?
Yeah.
All right.
When it comes to Tara,
let's not. Don't even. I'm not even sharing my screen anymore. The last one, though, all it is just somebody that threw a GIF up there of a kid yelling "Why." Because of the events that happened in our last episode. So, but yeah, man, it was a trip. I think there was a lot of poor Ronnie. Stop writing on your phone. Yeah, I enjoyed season 6.
I will not.
I'm really excited for season 7. We got to finish this thing out. I'm kind of curious as to what is going to happen. And you said it was going to be the Gemma Jax war.
Mm-hmm.
Man, right into Kaiju.
I know at least one thing that happens in season 7, and I don't want to give it away.
Don't you give it away. My wife was doing the same thing. She was like, I know what happens. I remember a couple things. I don't remember this, but I do remember this. And I'm like, don't say it.
I will not give it away now. But yeah, the ending was kind of spoiled for me because I was watching videos of season 6 stuff, and they were like, and then this happens in season 7. I'm like, motherfucker, god damn it.
Damn it.
But yeah, I'm excited for season 7. I want to see how this all wraps up. I'm kind of at the point with Sons of Anarchy that I was by the time we got to season 5 of The Wire, where I'm ready for this to end now. I'm ready to go one more ride around the block, and then we're done here. We can move on to other stuff.
Yeah, I think if they pushed it to a season 8, it would have had to have been.
People are
some
psychos,
kind of.
They're like, oh, I wish the series was still going on. I wish there was a season 8. I'm like, why? Who's left to fucking kill?
Why would you do that?
So yeah, I think at this point they've done all they can. I mean, how many more meets is Jack's gonna fucking have that turn that turn into gunplay? You know, they killed his wife, and that was a big source of tension for him. Like, at this point, we just have to wrap things up, you know, tie up all the loose ends and be done with this. So, Ronnie, I'm going to give you the last word here on Sons of Anarchy seasons 1 through 6.
Sons of Anarchy.
I'm so tired.
Sons of 6 Anarchy. What do you say?
I'm going to say something that's funny to me that's going to upset you both if you don't continue.
Oh, no. No. Okay, go, Ronnie, please.
Don't threaten me with a good time. You forget source material.
Hurry up. I want to go watch tranny porn.
Yeah, exactly. See, it doesn't affect me anymore, you
dick.
I
killed Ronnie's soul.
A long time ago. It was good. I mean, there's really no other different thoughts that I have that I already gave. I mean, like, little contrived, little forced, but other than that, I liked it. It was good. It was entertaining. Made me want to keep watching. Didn't want to make me scratch my eyes out too bad, other than the Sandy Hook reference, you know. Then, you know, it's you can tell it's winding up for that final ride. Yeah. So it's good. It's good. I hated to see Tara get killed. I mean,
I'm not.
I think she's the most innocent of everyone.
Far from it.
I know. I just listened to the whole stupid conversation about it. No, they're all trash bag human beings. I'm sorry, they are. They all deserve what they get in the end.
I hope Unsler wins in the end.
He's the only one.
Dude, he's the one.
Only one.
He's been terminally ill since season 1, and he'll be the last one standing. Could you imagine?
Okay, I've been terminally ill since season 1. You don't see me dying, do you?
No, please.
What?
No. No.
Oh my God, guys, calm down.
No.
Anywho, well, folks, that somber end brings us to the end of our podcast.
I'm terminally ill. Have a nice night.
I'm having fun. Tomorrow I have a lot of work to do. But on Wednesday, we were supposed to do it Sunday, but I couldn't get all of Sons of Anarchy and Jessica Jones watched and /read in time to do a podcast. So Jesse and I will be recording four episodes of source material on Wednesday. Will be and I'm advertising this now because you fucking went live with the Gargoyles. No, I want to go live too. God damn it.
Oh, I did, didn't I? I didn't go live. We
you
recorded
did.
that.
Oh,
we recorded that.
You but then they asked me post the whole stupid video.
It wasn't me. I wasn't asking you to. Give me the fucking audio. I'll put it on my feed. That's all I wanted. I get into there and they're like, we're going live, right? And I'm like, I don't think so. I don't know. What do you guys want to do? I'm just along for the ride on my own show. I don't know what the hell is going on.
Okay, well, you did it for Dorian and Alexis, and now I feel left out. So now I want to go live.
You want to go live with Jessica Jones?
Yeah.
And okay, no, I don't know how well that'd go over.
We don't have to go live. It's fine. But we are going to record 4 episodes of source material. We're going to be looking at Alias, Jessica Jones, volumes 1 through 4. And those will be set up over 4 episodes. So that'll be fun. I actually just finished rereading the first one tonight. So
Purple Man.
Yep.
Yeah, right there at the end, man. It's good.
And then on Thursday, it's me and Ronnie. Ronnie, did you actually watch the movie? Or are you going to be able to watch Twister before Thursday?
What is it?
The first one?
Oh my God, you asked to be on this.
Let me check my schedule.
You asked to be on this.
I'm so
Ronnie,
tired.
if you do not come prepared to talk about the Helen Hunt, Bill Paxton disaster movie Twister, I'm coming to North Carolina and I'm going to shoot you with a gun.
What day is that on?
Thursday.
Okay.
Why, you want to be on too to back him up?
I love Twister.
Oh, come on, then.
Movie. I mean,
Dude, I've seen that movie so many times, but I'll be able to watch Twister before we get there.
He will have cows.
I watched it with my kids.
It's a good movie.
It's so good. It's so much better than I remember, actually. Like, it's a solid movie. It really holds up. Like, it's funny. Like, I'll sit and watch stuff with Jonas, and when I notice like a film thing to kind of teach him, you know, or Lily, I'll point it out to him. And like, I'm watching Twister. I'm like, this is a solid script. Right. Like, this is right out of like movie script writing 101. It's really good. So yeah, Twister. We're gonna do an on trial for Twister in time for Twisters, which is next week.
Jesse, if you're free, we would love for you to come on with us.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I'll let you guys know if I can make it there.
Yeah, because on trial really isn't on trial anymore. On trial is just we just talk about one movie. And it's come one, come all, fucking orgy gangbang of podcasting.
Well, man, I
just invited Jesse, and really no one else.
Remember when we used to have formats on the Rattlers and Broadcasting Network? Yeah, I threw them all out. Just come, just come on.
Sorry, Mark.
Just come on and talk. I don't even care. Huh?
Maybe he could be the judge.
I could. I'm biased.
No, we've had 3 people on trial before. I had Dorian and Mac. To do Green Lantern, if you'll remember.
Why are you yelling at me?
I'm not. I'm just tired and
cranky
and wish everything. Yeah,
terminally ill. And
Jesse's gonna write a song about tonight. Cranky podcaster.
I'm writing a song about it.
Everyone can write a song about it because we have artificial intelligence.
Music is free. It's free.
Speaking of free, next week. We'll be doing a Damn You Hollywood for Twisters. That'll be me, possibly Jason, and definitely Robert. And then
this one,
No, he's dead.
For Twisters?
I know he's dead. I was sorry.
What the fuck is wrong with you? And then allegedly, we're threatening to do a triple
They can do
feature
anything with AI.
Thursday,
it's
July
CGI.
25th. We're looking at Mike Flanagan movies, Oculus, Hush, and Gerald's Game.
Oculus, Gerald's Game, both good. What was the other
feel
one?
free to come on that one because fuck it, who cares anymore? Just anyone can come on. I don't even care.
What was the third one? Ronnie's left. He's left again.
Oculus, Hush, and Gerald's Game.
I'm going to put my logo up there.
I think I might have seen.
Keep advertising for something.
Okay, is Hush about the deaf girl?
Sure.
Shh.
I'm not asking you, Ronnie. Do you remember? Ronnie don't remember.
Ronnie doesn't know what podcast he's on.
Chat GPT. Was Hush about the deaf girl?
Ask your girlfriend, Jessica.
That's my girlfriend.
Anyway, yeah, if anyone wants to come on any podcast, yeah, we don't do formats anymore. We don't, we don't brief guests. Anyone that shows up can be on. As long as I actually get to the podcast and we actually record something, I don't even care anymore. That's Radulich Broadcasting Network, everybody. Who gives
content? Just call it content episode 1. Content episode 2.
Jesse, that is about the deaf lady writer.
Thank you. Thank you
the
very
new
much.
phrase that pays here on the Radulich Broadcasting Network is I don't give a fuck anymore. How about that?
Beautiful.
Jesse, what do you
You are cranky. You need to drink a glass of milk, warm milk, and go to bed, Pawpaw.
There's no milk in this crack house I live in. We have beer. That's it.
No wonder you're a little surly. You've been drinking beer.
Oh, goodness.
Jesse, why don't you tell people about your podcast and all your nakedness?
Oh, well, I don't know about nakedness. I definitely. So recently, just today.
No pants.
Recently, today, as a matter of fact, Unspoken Issues dropped on the Source Material Comics
like
feed.
Pants.
Oh, yes. Just like Pants. Just like Pants. We talked Killer Instinct. Okay. And that's not the video game. We talked about Cyberforce, Wildcats, Killer Instinct. Shut up, Ronnie. The first Image Comics crossover that I could think of. I don't think there was a crossover prior to that. I could be wrong. Other characters might have appeared in some other titles, but
they crossed over in Marvel when they were X-Men and Avengers.
You're not too far off, and that does come up in the podcast because it was essentially X-Men and the X-Men because both of them seem like they're based off of the X-Men. But anyway, it's Jim Lee. It's freaking Mark Silvestri. I mean, you don't get any prettier than that. It's a beautiful, beautiful comic. Some beautiful comics to talk about. We had a good time. Check that out. That aired today. Source Material. Rest in peace, Benji Gregory. I had no idea that I would air an episode 2 days prior to the child star from Alf passing away.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I released an episode where I took, which folks, bear with me. Let me indulge you for a second. ChatGPT 4.0 is able to see images and interpret them. So I decided to test it, and I took a full-fledged Alf comic from 1988, Alf #1 from the UK, which Marvel UK, by the way, and I put it into ChatGPT, and I read the comic and compared it to how ChatGPT interpreted what was happening on the page. And it was I recorded the whole process. So if you want to check it out, see how AI can read a comic, episode recently, I think, aired on the 8th of July. Source Material, AI versus Alf. Go ahead.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can AI edit a podcast and post it?
Can
I get my fucking Flintstones episode?
And here I was going to give you a serious answer. AI can definitely edit a podcast because I've got a program that does that already. As for posting it, not that I know of, but I'm sure there's something out there. Well, for the Flintstones,
maybe you should get AI to at least edit it for you.
As for the Flintstones, keep an eye out. Maybe one day it'll pop up. And Mark's been itching. He wants Flintstones. He wants Snagglepuss. He wants Shark Prostitute.
It's
all the ones that I lose my mind on. Don't
yes,
we? Yes,
we do because it is entertainment value. Entertainment value.
When I'm sad, when I'm lonely, when I'm frustrated, when I'm looking into the middle distance and don't quite know where my life is, you know what I look back on? Those source materials where we tortured Ronnie.
Yes.
It brought me such good humor, good times.
I never chose what to read.
No, you. I'm certain that you had something that you want.
And then
I bet you were
would come along and go, "No, I don't want to do that. I want Ronnie to stand on the table so I can speed bag his dick the entire time we're on the podcast."
In my defense, I'm not the one who chose the Flintstones. That was Jesse.
Oh, that's true.
Jesse read it and was like, "I want to talk about this with Mark because Mark Russell is getting into all these social issues, and who better to talk to? Who better than Mark Radulich to talk about social issues with?" So that's how we ended up doing the Flintstones. You want to blame me for Snagglepuss? Be my guest.
Oh, I do.
Okay.
And I have a Snagglepuss pop for it too.
Punch him in the dick, even. Anyway, I think that's it. I mean, I can't think of anything else that's been showing up on here recently. So keep an eye out for some other episode showing up. Source Material Comics feed.
Ronnie, why don't you tell us about all the children you play with in your basement?
I hate you.
I said nothing wrong.
You totally said everything wrong. One, I don't have a basement. Two, there are no children anywhere near my house. Number three, shut up.
Fine. All the children you play with in public.
I'm talking, sir. I run Dungeons and Dragons at a local game store, and then he runs with it and makes it dirty.
Hi, have you met me?
I have a Twitch stream. It's called Misfits and Miscreants. We are on episode. We just got done with session 4 of Lost Mine of Fandelver, which we're going to go to level 5 with our characters, or their characters. And then we're going from 5 and doing the Lost Years and skipping those till 10 and doing the new book that's called Vecna, Eve of Ruin. So it's going to be a while before we get to Vecna, but it's been a lot of fun so far. We got a lot of great characters, a lot of player characters. I've got a great group, and it's been really fun. We've got some active chats, and so please twitch.tv/misfits and miscreants. You can follow us on Instagram in the same handle, Misfits and Miscreants, and we are on Facebook as well. There's more stuff in the works. They're just a little bit slow running, but they're getting there. Maybe some merch, maybe some more streams and things like that. What is happening right now?
I'm waiting for you to finish your plugs.
You just throwing your stuff up while I'm plugging my stuff. So
I really didn't mean to do that, but continue.
So if you want to buy copyrighted illegal material, then you
look no further.
Are you done with your plugs so I can talk about my t-shirts?
Yeah.
You can finish your plugs.
No,
I really didn't mean to.
No.
I forgot I have the thing automatic, but damn you, Hollywood. I have it automatically set to put the screen when I present. So I was getting it ready, and then I realized, oh, it's on screen. Oh, he won't care. Nope. Ronnie cares. So anyway, Neil from Movies That Don't Suck and Some That Do inspired me to start my own t-shirt store. He was like, I just throw t-shirts of everything. I have like Hawk Tour t-shirts. I have all kinds of stuff. Like anything that's like currently out there, I'll just make a t-shirt for. And maybe you sell a t-shirt, maybe you don't. I'm like, okay, well, I have artwork. I have logos. So if you'll notice, we have all the old Long Road to Ruin art that I made into t-shirts. You know, hey, Jesse, we did that one. We were on Gremlins together.
I remember that was my first ever Long Road to Ruin.
That's right. So when Sean and I did Jaws for the Dark Knight trilogy, Chronicles of Riddick, Aliens, Transformers, Blade, Batman the Animated Series, Terminator, Mad Max, Final Destination. This is one of my favorite ones where we did the Fantastic Four, the Tim Story ones, and he made it look like a comic book. We've got The Matrix, The Mighty Ducks, and The Evil Dead. And then we've got some show logos. I did these two. Yeah.
TV Party Tonight. I wanted to tell you guys this before I forget.
Yeah.
Can you click on that and can we get a bigger version? Okay. Count the legs on the two guys on the left.
shoot.
I just noticed that.
It's funny because during the episode that we just did, I started looking up in the corner. I'm like, there's only 3 legs for these two guys. And I actually think, I don't know what's
His
going
leg
on
is there. There's just he's just on his lap.
No. Where's his leg, Mark?
Yeesh. I did not pay any attention when I made this logo.
Oh no, it can always get past you. All right, go ahead, continue. It reminded me that we needed to discuss legs there for a second.
Oh.
He's got legs.
He knows how to use
He
them.
actually lost them. Okay, go ahead.
So this is my favorite one, Jesse.
Oh, of course. That's funny. That's funny.
Yep. And once again, I'm in a threesome I didn't want to be in.
That speaks to a very niche group of people. Like the person that finally finds this shirt is the guy that needs this shirt. Like he needs this shirt.
Yeah, this speaks to my last couple of years of my life.
This shouldn't come in any color other than black.
There's the Sessions logo. There's a
nice.
disclaimer. Damn you, Hollywood! And look, there's more dinosaurs.
More
Which
dinosaurs.
Chris Owens is my best friend, and he actually bought one of my shirts. So
No,
he did.
that's great.
Jenny had me make a shirt so she could buy it. So she's got the Daddy's Little Brat one here, and then Jason Teasley never wanted to be left out, made his own, and she bought that one too. So there you go.
All right then.
So yeah, Radulich Broadcasting Network, Public Store, buy a T-shirt. I need money. I have a divorce to pay for.
Hey, those aren't bad prices, by the way. Those are not bad prices at all. Like 16 bucks.
I'm gonna make some more shirts. So I had one for Sons of Anarchy. I don't know why it's under review, but it is. I used artificial intelligence to make a shadowy motorcycle guy, dangerous looking motorcycle guy, and in the corner it says nothing here works.
That's good. And there's nothing else. Does it say Sons on there at all?
No, I don't know why it's being reviewed.
That's strange.
Yeah. So anyway, if something happens, like if the shirt gets nerfed, I'll just make another one. I'll just make it a little bit differently. But I expect all you guys to buy my Nothing Here Works shirt.
Nothing here works.
Radulich Broadcasting Network. Nothing here works. Ronnie, you look like you're about to die.
He's got so much not to say.
Oh, good.
Oh no, don't worry.
Okay.
I know my place now.
Oh my God, just a passive aggressive. All right. Well, thank you for joining us here on Passive Aggressive Cast. For Ronnie Adams or Jesse Starcher, who's going to write a song about it. I'm a very tired baby. Be well, be safe, and behave.